I'm so glad you're here. If you've been following along, then you know that we have been doing some serious work here on weight loss. Now, if you haven't been following, you might want to go back and get caught up because this is part 2 of the Going Deeper series. And what we're doing is we're looking at weight loss, managing our minds, and figuring out why we're not doing what we want to do, which is to lose the weight. And so the last part 1 of the series was finding hunger and really getting into what hunger is and why it's a good thing and what we want from it. And if you want to know where we're going and you want to know where we started and what the basics are, I want you to go back to the weight loss basics class. So the weight loss basics class took this information at a higher level, kind of gave an overview, and now we're going into a deeper dive on these different topics. And so that'll get you caught up pretty quickly. And what we did with series 1 with the hunger conversation was once a week, we worked through some different things, took a month, 4 weeks on that. And then now we're going into part 2. So I want to tell you part of what prompted this. I had a follower of this blog say in the comments, you'll see it if you look, and she said, I just have a hard time. I'm doing really well with my weight loss and my intermittent fasting and the different things that I'm doing to keep my weight off, but I have a hard time stopping once I actually start eating. And that sounded so familiar to me. I have definitely been there. I know what it feels like to do all the things that you planned and then to feel like you undo it when you start eating. And there's some reasons for that, and we're going to get into that. But let me just remind you, in case you're not already, please subscribe. If you subscribe, then the videos come up for you and then you won't miss anything. So that's one. And if you give me a thumbs up, that'd be really helpful. And then it'll help other people to find the videos too. So what are we going to talk about in this series? Okay, finding fullness. It's a tricky thing. It really can be. But there's a lot of negative consequences to overeating. You can actually do the right things. You can eat the right foods. You can do what you know to do. But if you eat too much, if you put too much fuel in the tank, you got to store it and you're not going to lose weight. So even if you wait till you get hungry and you make sure that you're absolutely hungry in your stomach and not in your head, and you get to hunger and then you eat beyond full, you're going to gain weight, or at least you'll stall. You won't keep losing. And if you still have more to lose, you don't want to eat more than you need. That you'll be at a maintenance phase when you don't want to maintain your weight. You want to keep losing. So that's number 1. You cannot overeat and lose weight. So got to figure out why we're overeating and get into that. Now that is where we're going in this series. I want to refer you back to another video too. When I went to the first part of the weight loss basics class, I did talk about the hunger scale. And so when I talk about the hunger scale, I'm talking about the scale of -10 to +10, -10 being I could eat grass if I were able to digest it. Like I'm so hungry I could eat anything. And then +10 being the stereotypical after Thanksgiving dinner, I just stuffed myself like the turkey and I can't move. I have to take off my clothes. I have to lay on the couch. I can't function. I'm so full. That's a +10. So we're going for the range between a -4 for starting eating and a +4 for stopping eating. Okay, very polite fullness. And so why are we going past the +4? Why are we overeating until we're getting closer to the I'm stuffed feeling? That's what we're going to look at in this series. I also talked about being fat adapted. And so you might want to go back and refresh on that because I'm going to bring that up in the first video. You can go right to that next. But if you're not fat adapted, you got to work on that first because the hunger signals can be so overwhelming when you're not fat adapted that stopping gets even harder. So go back and review what it is about being fat adapted. How do you do it? What do you have to do there? And then you work through that. And then we can move into getting really good at feeling hungry. And then we move into how do we stop once we start eating? So that's what we're going to do with this series. Thank you for coming back. I'm so glad you're here. And I look forward to seeing you every week for the rest of the month. Bye.